You're tuned to Arrow FM, your local community access radio station. The time now is 8 o'clock, time for another hour of the great music that came out in the 1960s with the 60s and Nostalgia Show. The 60s Nostalgia Show is kindly sponsored by Cotter and Stevens, the electrical contractors down in Jellicoe Street in Martinborough. And I'll just hold a minute. Right, we'll start all over again because I forgot to set one recorder off. You're tuned to Arrow FM, your local community access radio station. The time now, 8 o'clock, time for another hour of the great music from the 1960s. The 60s Nostalgia Show is kindly sponsored by Cotter and Stevens, the electrical contractors down in Jellicoe Street in Martinborough, and they're contractors for personal and also commercial, plus they're experts in and around dairy sheds. So with calving starting off pretty soon, the farmers will be going full noise, so they'll want to make sure everything is sweet around the dairy shed. So if you want some expert advice, give Cotter and Stevens a ring and talk to Mike Milburn, who's an expert around the old dairy shed. Sounds Incorporated here and Rinky Dink, and I've got nothing really planned for the show tonight. I'll play a couple of songs to mark a couple of milestones, but if you'd like to hear a particular song, artist or band, just give me a ring here on 378-0255, 378-0255, and I'll see if I can dig it out for you. And Tony, I think I've found a song with a Italian link, and we'll play that one very shortly.
Daytime turns me off and I don't mean maybe. 9 to 5 ain't taking me where I'm bound. When it's done, I run out to see my baby. We get grooving when the sun goes down. Thank the Lord for the night time, to forget the day, the day of uptight time. Baby, chase it away. I get a relaxation, and it's the time to groove. I thank the Lord for the night time. I thank the Lord for you. I'll talk about plans now, baby. I got plenty, but nothing ever seems to turn out the way it should. Talk about money, girl, I ain't got any. Seems like just one time I'm feeling good. Thank the Lord for the night time. Forget the day, the day of uptight time. Baby, chase it away. I get a relaxation, and it's the time to groove. I thank the Lord for the night time. I thank the Lord for you. Say yeah. Now we're Seems like just night time to forget the day. Day of uptight time, baby, chase it away. I get a relaxation. It's a time to groove. I thank the Lord for the night time. Thank the Lord for you. Now.
Neil Diamond there, and thank the Lord for the night time. Righto, Tony, you set me a bit of a challenge, and I'm not quite sure whether I've met it or not, but you'll probably see the link with Italy with the next track. It's actually a theme song to a movie that starred Clint Eastwood, and the old movie called The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, and the link to Italy was directed by an Italian, and those westerns were known as spaghetti westerns, and Italians eat a lot of spaghetti. The theme there to The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, that was the version by Hugo Montenegro, his orchestra and chorus. And of course the other spaghetti western that Clint Eastwood made, the western called Hang 'em High, that also had a great theme song as well. Righto, let's play a track by the Supremes, and then we might look at a milestone.
I need love to ease my mind. I need to find someone to call mine. But mama said you can't hurry love. No,
The Supremes there, and You Can't Hurry Love. And it was from the days when they were known as the Supremes before Diana Ross's ego got the better of her and they became Diana Ross and the Supremes. Right, a bit of a milestone or health news from a 60s artist. And best wishes will go out to Michael Nesmith from the Monkees, who underwent a quadruple heart bypass surgery after falling ill before a concert on the 21st of June. If I remember correctly, that was a concert with fellow Monkey Mickey Dolenz. He was diagnosed with congestive heart failure at his home in Monterey. So hopefully the triple or the quadruple bypass does the trick. So I thought we might play a couple of Monkey songs that feature Mike Nesmith on vocals, and he also wrote the song. So the first one up is from the debut album they put out, and also the second one is as well, the song called Papa Jean's Blues. And one other interesting note about Michael Nesmith was that his mother was a secretary and typist, and she actually invented the typing correction fluid, which I think was known in other places around the world as Indian ink or something like that. But in New Zealand it was known, I think, more like twink. And that was very popular for those people who couldn't type properly way back in the 60s and 70s, and of course since has been replaced by the computer.
No heartache spells, no longer lonely nights of waiting finally won me happiness that's all rolled up in you. And now with you as inspiration, I look toward a destination sunny bright that once before was blue. I have no more than I did before, but now I've got all that I need. For I love you and I know you love me. So take my hand, I'll start my journey, free from all the helpless worry that besets a man when he's alone. For strength is mine when we're together, and with you I know I'll never have to pass the high road for the low. I have no more than I did before, but now I've got all that I need. For I love you and I know you love me. Play magic fingers. Oh, pick it, Luther. I had no more than I did before, but now I've got all that I need. For I love you and I know you love me. Yes, I love you and I know you love me.
The Monkees there and Papa Jean's Blues. And what we'll do is we'll flip that LP over and do it while the next track's playing, which is Little Millie and My Boy Lollipop.
You make my heart go giddy up. You are as sweet as candy. You're my sugar dandy. Well, my boy lollipop, never, never leave me, because it would grieve me. My heart told me so.
into my brain. I'm either feeling very good or else I am insane. The seeds of doubt you planted have started to grow wild, and I feel that I must yield before the wisdom of a child. And it's love you bring, know that I can't deny. With your wings, I can learn to fly, sweet young thing. People try to talk to me, their words are ugly sounds. I resist all their attempts to try and bring me down. Turned on to the sunset like I've never been before. I listen for your footsteps and you knock upon the door. And it's love you bring, no that I can't deny. With your wings, I can learn to fly, sweet young thing. And it's love you bring, with dreams of bluer skies, and the morning sings when I see it in your eyes, sweet young thing. Sweet young thing.
The Monkees there, and a Sweet Young Thing, and that was from their debut album. If I hold that up to the camera, you'll be able to see the cover. One great thing about LPs was the cover and the cover art, and that's the Monkees in their glory, Mike Nesmith, Hidden by My Hand. And on the reverse, all sorts of bits and pieces, a couple of pictures there of the Monkees and lots of information about them. And if I read it, if I remember correctly, it's got a bit down the bottom. Watch for the Monkees in colour every Monday night on the NBC TV network, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The Yardbirds there, over, under, sideways, down, bringing the time to, 24 minutes past 8 o'clock here on Arrow FM, and you're listening to the 60s Nostalgia Show, which is kindly sponsored by Cotter and Stevens, the electrical contractors down in Jellicoe Street in Martinborough. They're the guys to go to, whether it's personal or commercial. Another 60s artist that's having a few health problems at the moment is the singer Tommy Rowe, and according to this website, Tommy Rowe will undergo a heart bypass surgery Friday the 27th of July at UCLA Medical Center in California. Apparently this was postponed for one day by his doctors. Not quite sure why they wanted to postpone it. Maybe they had a game of golf booked or something like that. So he's having the surgery, so given the time difference, he hasn't started it yet, but we'll do it to sometime overnight. So I thought we'd play Sheila, the first big hit that Tommy Rowe had.
Sheila, you know her if you see her. Blue eyes and a ponytail, cheeks are rosy. She looks a little rosy, man. This little girl is fine. Haven't you a girl like a little Sheila? Her name drives me insane. Sweet little girl, that's my little Sheila, man. This little girl is fine. Me and Sheila go for a ride. I feel funny inside. Then little Sheila whispers in my ear. I love you, Sheila dear. Sheila said she loved me. She said she'd never leave me. True love will never die. We're so doggone happy just being around together, man. This little girl is fine. Having you a girl like a little Sheila, her name drives me insane. Sweet little girl, that's my little Sheila, man. This little girl is fine. Me and Sheila go for a ride. I feel funny inside. Then little Sheila whispers in my ear. I love you, Sheila dear. Sheila said she loved me. She said she'd never leave me. True love will never die. We're so doggone happy just being around together, man. This little girl is fine. This little girl is fine.
For my sweet sugar, for my honey, your tasty kiss thrills me so. Sweets for my sweets, sugar for my honey, I'll never ever
The Drifters there from 1961, the original version of Sweets for My Sweet. And of course that was covered and hit a couple of years after that in the UK with the version by The Searchers. Next up from 1968 we've got the Bee Gees and I've Got to Get a Message to You.
The preacher talked with me and he smiled, said, come and walk with me, come and walk one more mile. Now for once in your life you're alone, but you ain't got a dime, there's no time for the phone. I just gotta get a message to you. If I broke her heart, then won't you tell her I'm sorry? And for once in my life I'm alone, and I gotta let her know just in time before I go. I just gotta get a message to you. Hold on, one more. Well, I laughed, but that didn't hurt, and it's only her love that keeps me wearing this dirt. Now I'm crying, but deep down inside, well, I did it to him, now it's my turn to die. I just gotta get a message to you. One more hour and my life will be through. Hold on, I've just gotta get a message to her. Hold on, one more hour and my life will be through.
The Bee Gees here, one of those beautiful ballads that they put out in the 1960s, and I think we'll have another one from the Bee Gees, and it's Massachusetts, and we'll follow that one up straight away with the Flower Pot Men and Let's Go to San Francisco. But meanwhile we're going to go to Massachusetts.
I'm going back to Massachusetts. Something's telling me I must go home. And the lights all went down in Massachusetts the day I left her standing on her own. Tried to hitch a ride to San Francisco.
The Flower Pot Men there, bringing the time to 20 minutes or 21 minutes to 9 o'clock here on Arrow FM, and you're listening to the 60s Nostalgia Show, which is kindly sponsored by Cotter and Stevens, the electrical wizards down in Jellicoe Street in Martinborough. That song, the Flower Pot Men, they were really just a studio band that got together to cash in on the hippie scene in 1965 or 1967 rather. But John Carter and Ken Lewis, who wrote that song, also wrote the next song from the group the Ivy League, because they were members of the Ivy League that had a few hits in the 60s as well.
In the air, funny how love can be. Wonder why she pretends I'm not there. Funny how love can be, girl. Funny how love can be. There she is with that look in her eye. Hasn't got time for me. Does she know how it's making me cry? Funny how love can be, girl. Funny how love can be. What a thing to happen, left without a friend. What a thing to happen. Funny how true love can end. I can tell that she just doesn't care. How can I make her see? I'm in love and it just isn't fair. Funny how love can be, girl. Funny how love can be. Funny how love can be. Funny how love can be.
The Ivy League there, and funny how love can be. Got an idea that Mick Jagger celebrated his 75th birthday sometime during the week, so I think we'll play a Stones track.
I live on a apartment on the 99th floor of my block. I'm sitting home looking out the window, imagining the world has stopped. When it flies, the guys all dressed up just like the Union Jack.
The Rolling Stones there, and Get Off My Cloud. And of course, the Rolling Stones still touring at the moment. They're touring, I think, England and Europe as well, but no doubt in the schedule, Sir Mick has allowed plenty of time for watching cricket. Mick Jagger's a huge cricket fan, and you often see him in the crowd at Lord's and other venues when Test cricket is being played over in the UK. Really hot over in the UK at the moment, and the MCC, or the Marylebone Cricket Club, which is one of the governing bodies over there, have bowed to the temperature, and they have allowed members to go and take off their blazers in the lunchroom, which is really good of them. The Turtles there, and She'd Rather Be With Me. Bobby Gentry's having a birthday today. Just can't recall what age she is, but she'll be getting on a bit. But it's her birthday today, so I thought we'd play a Bobby Gentry song from 1969, and it's the old I'll Never Fall in Love Again.
I nobody till I met you. But you keeping me waiting all of the time. What can I do? It's your life, and you can do what you want. Do what you like, but please don't keep me waiting. Please don't keep me waiting, 'cause I'm so tired, tired of waiting, tired of waiting for you. So tired, tired of waiting, tired of waiting for you. I was a lonely soul, I had nobody till I met you. But you keeping me waiting all of the time. What can I do? It's your life, and you can do what you want. Do what you like, but please don't keep me waiting. Please don't keep me waiting, 'cause I'm so tired, tired of waiting, tired of waiting for you. So tired, tired of waiting, tired of waiting for you. For you.
The Kinks there, and Tired of Waiting, bringing the time to 6 minutes to 9 o'clock, time for the Hollies.
Oh, I try and I try, but I can't say goodbye. Feel so bad, baby. Oh, it hurts me when I think of how you love and desert me. I'm the broken-hearted toy you play with, baby. You got me going. I need you, baby. I can't let go. And I want you, baby. I gotta have you know I can't let go. Though I'm just one of your lovers, and I know there are so many others, you do something strange to me, baby. Baby, baby, you got me going. I need you, baby. I can't let go. I want you, baby. I gotta have you know I can't let go. Oh, I try and I try, but I can't say goodbye. I know that it's wrong and I should be so strong, but the thought of you gone makes me want to hold on. You got me going. I need you, baby. I can't let go. I want you, baby. I gotta have you know I can't let go. You got me going. I need you, baby. I can't let go. I want you, baby. I gotta have you know I can't let go. I can't let go. I can't let go. I can't let go.
All right, time for one more, and it's finish with the Beatles.
She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, 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 yeah. You think you've lost your love? Well, I saw her yesterday. It's you she's thinking of, and she told me what to say. She said she loves you, and you know that can't be bad. loves you, and you know you should be glad. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. With a love like that, you know you should be glad. With a love like that, you know you should be glad. With a love like that, you know you should be glad. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
The Beatles bringing to a close another edition of the 60s Nostalgia Show, which was first broadcast all over the wonderful Wairarapa on Arrow FM and kindly sponsored by Cotter and Stevens, the electrical contractors down in Jellicoe Street in Martinborough.